You know, I talked a little bit about belief, and I think it's important to understand that the word belief, it actually means to be in love with. So when I say that your beliefs in this business will hold you back or they'll move you forward, what it comes down to is we want you to fall in love with this business. We want you to fall in love with the products. We want you to fall in love with the company, what they stand for and what they do. We want you to fall in love with the opportunity and what it can do in your life and the lives of those people around you. Because when you really fall in love with it, you will then go out and start to take action. It will become part of your life. You'll feel like you're incomplete without being part of this on a daily basis. So my advice to you is to fall in love with this. Begin to really believe in yourself, which means you fall in love with yourself. It doesn't mean you don't recognize your faults. It means that you recognize the good and you're willing to grow and learn the things that you need to grow. Fall in love with the company. Fall in love with everything that it stands for. And when you do that, when your belief grows, your success will grow. The height of your success will always be determined by the depth of your belief. So every single day, work on that belief and take it from a mental process to an emotional process where you get it right in your heart, because that's what really drives you forward.
Great advice. Thank you, Kai. Next, maybe I have Tai Chi.
My advice would be work together as a team. Okay. 2 years ago in Hong Kong, we started to work together with some sidelines. Okay. And I think a few of them already semi-retired like us. But we got together. Our dream, our goal was to help other people to go much faster, to realize their dreams much easier, and become millionaires much quicker, and help a lot more people. In the last 2 years, working together, we together have created 27 Blue Diamonds, 5 Team Elites, 3 Millionaires. But prior to that, 10 years prior to that, no, 5 years prior to that, we never had a new Blue Diamond. Because everybody was coasting along, just relaxing. But because we got together, the energy came back. And each of us were able to contribute our best. Okay? And before that, before we got together, we have to be super strong. We have to know everything. We have to be able to do everything before we can lead a group and build a very big foundation of success. But now, each of us contribute our best for the collective good of everybody. And we don't take position as leaders. We collectively, we help everybody. All right? By being selfless, by contributing our best, we become successful. So stay with your team and contribute your best to help everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, Gary.
My best recommendation for you would be, it's a piece of advice that I learned years and years ago. It came from a gentleman named Jim Rohn. And Jim says you've got to work harder on yourself than you do on your business. And how I put that in my own life, and that is through reading and listening constantly to the right information. You know, every day we're bombarded with the news. Where I come from, we call it the bad news, because they don't try to give you the good news. It's just always the news. And they want to sell more, so they want you to tune in to see whether it's the flu epidemic, the economy, whatever it is that's bad news. You got to shut that out of your life. And you got to stay plugged in to great information that could change your life. Read the books. You know, some of the most successful people who have ever lived have recorded what they did and what life was like. And you can read that. Listen to the CDs, listen to the audios. If you're driving, make sure that you're listening to the right information. You can make your automobile into a moving university and learn every moment that you're out and about. We have people today that are so focused on the business, when they get up in the morning, they push play and they're listening. Information like Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill and so many others. And then they'll put it on pause to make some phone calls. And the moment they hang up, they release the pause button and they play it some more. They want to constantly be putting the right information in, programming themselves for success. I think every one of us is a work in process. I recognize when I first got started 20 years ago in this industry, I was not very good talking in front of people. I was nervous, I was sweating, I was bad. I would have been embarrassed today if you had seen what I looked like 20 years ago doing this kind of a thing. And yet, I felt that I could get better, and I could only get better by doing it again. And then again, and then again. And then again. The first time I made a phone call or did a conference call, it wasn't very good. I'm glad there are no recordings of it. But I did it again, and then I did it again, and then I did it again. See, no matter where you are and what your skill level is now, if you're really up here or if you're down here, you can and you need to get better. Because your ability to communicate, to listen well, and to communicate the message is really important. The ability to every day have the right energy and attitude when things happen, right? Every day stuff comes at you that you didn't plan for. You know the difference for success? It's whenever that stuff happens, how you respond to it. And how you respond to it can be programmed. So that when it happens, when the bump in the road comes along, you say, oh yeah, I suspected that would happen. Now let me not be distracted by it because I've got to stay going toward my goals. See, if you're not programming yourself for success, it's just going to be too easy to be pulled off of your route, to be pulled away from the direction you want to go in. That's the important thing. You see, in order for you to be a ruby, first you have to be a ruby here. In order for you to be a blue diamond, first you've got to be a blue diamond here. And in order for you to be a team elite, first it's team elite here. So I loved it. I was wandering a little bit before we started, and I saw people having their picture taken in front of those. That's important for you to visualize being there. And then thinking how a blue diamond thinks, or how a ruby thinks, or how a team elite thinks. By just thinking that way, thinking how would a ruby respond if somebody said no? How would a ruby respond in any one of your situations? If you have the mental part of this down, the rest of it becomes easy. Because you know exactly where you're going to go, and you won't be distracted from it. So work harder on yourself than you do on your business, and it's going to be easy.
Thank you, Gary. Now